Where we going, baby?
We're going to Seaside today.
I'm Erica, and this is David, and we are 30A Misfits. Two transplant locals who love to adventure. Come explore with us.
What if your world was make-believe?
Cue the sun. While the world he inhabits is counterfeit.
To find Seaside t-shirts.
What line is that for?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
We're a cool town, but we're a quirky town.
Yeah. It's 8 o'clock.
Seaside.
We're about 2 hours behind from where we wanted to be. Life.
No scripts, no cue cards.
We had no idea where we're parking. I have no idea where we're gonna park.
Maybe we can see the seaside. Wanna kick it with you.
Today, we'll be exploring Seaside, an unincorporated master-planned community on 30A.
From the largest studio ever constructed.
Known for its pastel-colored houses and white picket fences. It's also where the 1998 Jim Carrey movie The Truman Show was filmed. It all started in 1946 when J.S. Smolian bought 80 acres of land. He intended to build a summer camp, but never did. Instead, he held on to the land and eventually passed it down to his grandson, Robert Davis. Robert Davis became an award-winning builder and developer in Miami during the 70s. He eventually relocated with plans to begin a new development on his grandfather's land. In 1981, the first cottages began going up. The first cottages in Seaside started going up in 1981. This is one of the first. There were two that went up pretty much simultaneously. This was one of them, the Red House, and this was the sales office for homes in Seaside when they started selling them. And this one, where there are people staying, so I don't want to get too close, this is where the original planners or developers lived. And then the sales office was the red one right next door. But these were the first two houses in Seaside. And in 1985, the Davis family enlisted the help of architects Andre Duaney and Elizabeth Plater-Zyberk. From then on, Seaside has steadily grown into the town its founders hoped it would be. Amavida isn't just a coffee shop. It's a company that's involved from the farm to your cup. They are certified carbon neutral, plastic neutral, and a certified B Corp.
Are we on right now?
Yes.
Yeah. What's y'all's names?
I'm Grace.
Grace and Jonah.
Yes.
What's your name?
Sally.
Sally?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Sally, just tell us a little bit about the place. You used to be over there on the corner,
We
right?
did. We used to have our little beach shack across the street where it was always sandy floors. We still have sandy floors throughout the day. But,
Right.
it used to be just really a walk through over there, and we got the opportunity to come across the street and kind of make it permanent. Well, all those buildings across the street are temporary.
Right.
And temporary for, 30 or so years. So.
Well, it's temporary. Leave us alone.
So we had an opportunity
Temporarily permanent.
to come over here and actually have a permanent spot, and it was a great opportunity. So we took them up on it, and we just have a different vibe over here. We miss our little beach shack, but
More Seaside people, less locals, I imagine.
Yeah, a little bit, because especially with the parking, locals can't just pull up and come in. They do early in the morning.
Good morning! Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yeah. Morning, Truman!
Right.
All right.
Cool.
Amavida started in Freeport in 2004. It's founded by Dan and Sally Bailey, who we just met Sally.
Just tell us a little bit about the place. She's really cool.
Yeah, she was really sweet.
She's walked the incubator
Yeah.
process of Seaside.
Basically, all of this is, these are all temporary buildings. They're for incubator retail. People get a chance to start their shops in very inexpensive places. If they do well, they get decanted to the 4-story mixed-use buildings where the rent is serious. And if they fail, they fail.
Starting in one place and then moving further into Seaside and getting more incorporated. Amavida is derived from love life in Spanish. So they have it above the door outside as you walk in. They've always roasted their own coffee beans, and their roaster facility allows them to roast both for their own use and for wholesale distribution. And they do tours of their roastery, which is, where would you call that? Up by the breweries.
And the industrial park of Santa Rosa Beach.
That's where their roastery is, and they do tours. They stopped doing them in 2020, but they're about to start back up. And they are the second Thursday of every month from roughly 10 to 11 in the morning, and they do groups of, I think, 8 to 12. And at the end, you get a fresh brewed coffee. So I got you a vanilla cold brew. Is it good?
It tastes functional. Let's put it that way.
Like you'll have plenty of energy. Yeah. I have a toasted caramel latte with an extra shot. Amavida is a seaside staple for a reason. Friendly service and great coffee drive them toward a perfect score, with the location knocking it back away from the locals in just the tiniest bit. Because we got a day.
Right.
When I say no, it's yes. I'm putting you to the test. Can you handle me? Do you have the key? Sorry that I've been playing games. Do you really have what it takes? I guess so, I guess so. I guess so, I guess so. I am a queen, I need my king. You better not to sin. I think so.
What's your name?
Austin.
Austin? Where you from, Austin?
Nashville.
Nashville, I got you.
But I want you, want you, want you.
Hi.
Thank you. I like yours. One apple pie, one poulet, frozen lemonade, and a bottle of water.
Do we make good choices?
You did.
What's your name?
Chantel.
Chantel.
So we got one sweet and one savory. His is an apple pie. And I got the poulet, which was roasted chicken, cherried onions, kale, mushrooms, I think Swiss cheese. All kinds of really good sounding stuff.
Just really thin pancakes.
They're just like pancakes, maybe even better.
Wait, are they the really thin pancakes?
Yeah.
Stand by ring cam.
Yeah.
They're
really
delicious.
thin pancakes.
Those are really thin pancakes. Millions of views. My sister Tanya. That's the hands prepared this food. You leave it in it, right?
Yeah. It really, there's no wrong way to eat a crepe. You know, I said there was no wrong way to eat a crepe.
Apple pie.
Ooh, we are at Crepes du Soleil. It was opened by Liz and Jay Eichelberger. It's one of, if not the newest Airstreams in Seaside on Airstream Row. Opened in 2018, and it is extraordinarily popular because they opened at 9, and as we were turning the corner at 9:04, the line was already out to the road. Crepes du Soleil, while delicious, is definitely more for tourists. So we're putting it just shy of total tourist. It's like eating a burrito sideways.
Right.
Who do you think you are, Justin Bieber?
You are a dork. Let's go. Pretty cool, right?
Vincent Scully taught architectural history for more than 50 years at Yale University and for almost 20 years at Miami University. Scully was one of Seaside's early supporters and influenced many who contributed their design, planning, and architecture talents to Seaside. Many of the prominent architects who built in Seaside were students of Scully, including Elizabeth Plater-Zyberg, Robert Stern, and Andre Duaney.
I could be the best thing in your life. Maybe let's take a drive, take a drive.
Seaside was designed to make walking more convenient than driving. The streets are narrow to force cars to slow down, and the town center is about a 5-minute walk from anywhere in the community. Seaside has no front lawns and only native plants, so you'll never hear a lawnmower on a Sunday morning.
This is it.
Good morning! Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
So if you've ever seen the movie The Truman Show with Jim Carrey, this was his house.
Honey, are you okay?
Get in.
It's actually 31 Natchez Street, but in the movie it was 36, so they kept the 36 on the house. So it's a little confusing if you don't know what you're looking for. And the house is actually owned by the Gates family.
Yeah, Matt Gates, Republican congressman.
Yep.
All right.
Maybe let's take a drive, take a drive.
Pearl Girl.
After Wendy Mignon met her husband Jean Noel, they began living, designing, and selling their jewelry aboard their sailboat in the Caribbean. Each handcrafted design is a perfectly imperfect, one-of-a-kind piece. Wendy and her family set up shop here in Seaside in 2002 after a sailing accident off the coast of North Carolina destroyed their boat. Jean Noel's parents were visiting Seaside at the time, and when Wendy and Jean Noel landed in South Walton, it wasn't long before they decided to make Seaside their home. In addition to her pearls and hand-rolled leather, you can find jewelry featuring ancient coins, including ancient Byzantine and Venetian, Roman and Holy Land, Greek and Spanish shipwreck coins, all of which are guaranteed and come with a certificate of authenticity.
See us, thanks, Shannon.
I love the way she makes me smile, she makes me smirk. It gives me chills, it makes me blush, it gives me work. And I can see her winning the Miss Universe. And if heaven does exist, it will most probably look like.
What's your name?
Sonali.
Sonali?
Yeah, enjoy. Just
Okay.
You can feel free to take video, whatever you want.
Thank you so much.
Fusion Art Glass was founded in 1996 by glass artist Russ Gilbert and has grown to represent over 150 North American artists. Fusion Art Glass was one of the first art glass galleries in the Southeast and is now a national presence.
Pag-ibig mo, lagi kang nasa puso't isip ko at inaamin ko na nami-miss kita. Sa'kin ikaw pa rin ang baby ko.
Don't tell David, but I'm sweating bullets because I am way too clumsy to be around this much glass. Too clumsy to be around this much glass.
Crazy, kahit sinong lalaki mababaliw sa'yo. Panahon hanggang ka ba, laging pumupunta. Di naman saan, may sorpresa ka laging dala. Ang saya-saya, ayoko lang pahalata. Kasi okay na naman ako basta makasama ka. Bakit ba?
So where are we going now, sweetheart?
Sundog Books.
This building, which again is temporary and just sitting on the ground, sitting on sleds on the ground, is where the bookstore was incubated, Sundog Books, which is a terrific operation. And, you know, bookstores don't necessarily survive. So they proved themselves here, and then they went, and once they could actually pay a real lease, they moved over, and they're now over there in the two-story building using both stories and becoming a real business.
Sundog Books opened in 1986 on the south side of 30A in a small, thrown-together plywood shed. They opened for Memorial Day weekend and closed after Labor Day because there weren't any people around back then. In 1990, they moved to a slightly more permanent structure and added one employee. In 1998, they moved to their current home in Central Square.
It smells so good in here.
Right.
So good. And it's tiny and quiet and cramped, but that's everything you want in a bookstore, so. So we went back home.
We're a small time operation, only got one backup battery, only one battery.
Yeah, no backups. Pick up where we left off.
This will be cool because the seaside we'll show you now will look like freaking Disney World.
Yeah, so totally different atmosphere than it was this morning.
I have no idea where we're going to park. I hope it doesn't rain.
Central Square Records is on the second floor above Sundog Books. Opened in 2003, Central Square Records has just about anything any music lover could want. You can enjoy everything from mainstream to local music, grab some Jittery Joe's coffee, and take advantage of their free Wi-Fi and gorgeous view.
That thing a chance to adjust.
Yeah.
Woo! Alright, we just came out of where?
Central Square Records.
Central Square Records. What line is that for?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Good grief.
Almost 40 years ago, the Seaside Post Office was built to lend credibility to the up-and-coming town. The building that once stood in an empty field has now arguably become one of the most photographed post offices in the world. In 2018, the post office was moved off of 30A and into Central Square to make room for a signature tower. The move may not have gone exactly according to plan, but the post office survived and can now be found between Sundog Books and Modica Market.
She ain't been at Christmas. Did you get t-shirts?
In 1988, Sarah and Charles Modica retired to the town of Seaside after being in the grocery business in Alabama for more than 50 years.
How about those two?
I don't know. Could be. It's when I'm unpredictable. They can't, you know.
The developers of Seaside, knowing the Modica's history, approached them and said, "It's time to build a grocery store." Modica Market opened in 1988 and now has 3 family generations continuing their traditions.
We need one at the classic Cubano sandwich.
Would you like yellow mustard or spicy?
Yellow or spicy mustard?
Which is best? Spicy.
And I'm gonna do a bowl.
How did we do? Did we do good?
Sorry?
Did we do good?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name?
Chris.
Chris? Yeah. David and Erica. Yeah. Gotta have a plan.
That Breeze went down.
Hey, that was quick. That's a line to get in there.
Yep.
After the success of their Airstream Crepes du Soleil, Liz and Jay Eichelberger and chef Rob Masson opened Seaside's newest restaurant, Cocina Cubana, in 2019. Cocina Cubana may have been our favorite stop of the day. Chris was extremely helpful, and with incredible food and a convenient location right on 30A, we're giving it a perfect score. Most know that the movie The Truman Show was filmed in Seaside and released in 1998.
Truman.
What many people don't know is that the movie producers endowed the Ruskin Place Homeowners Association with $125,000 to renovate their park after production ceased. You may remember the Art Deco looking building where Truman went to work every day. That was in Ruskin Place, just north of Central Square, where today you'll discover a community of townhomes, shops, and art studios. In 1987, Bill and Mary Florence Forsythe read an article about a little town in the Florida Panhandle. Because Mary Florence was a sculptor, the idea of an art colony within the town of Seaside, where she could sculpt in the ground floor space and they could live above her studio, was intriguing.
That's a dwelling and that's a shop. That's a dwelling and that's a shop. There are 22 of them. And they sold immediately, and every time we design a community, the developers fight us in the live work units. And then they come back and say, oh, they sold the best and for the highest price.
The Forsythes were the first family to begin construction in what is now Ruskin Place Artist Colony, which is comprised of 20 townhomes, all unique, all facing a park. Every park needs an entrance, and following the tradition of centuries-old European parks, Mary Florence and Laura Granberry designed an iron gate. They hired local artist and fabricator Joss Beckers to complete it. The rustic iron gate was designed to incorporate objects that represent the park and the little village within Seaside. Legend has it that if you find all the hidden objects, your day will be magical.
What's your name?
Sylvia.
Sylvia?
Yeah.
You used to bring up the place down the corner down there.
I used to work down there a long time ago. Gosh, I've had my store 11 years now, so before that. Yeah.
But it's David, we used to ship a lot of stuff and everything out there with Randy and Lynn,
An apartment in Paris is a Parisian lifestyle store in the shops of Ruskin. Store owner Sylvia Forbes makes regular shopping trips to Paris and is constantly finding wonderful and unique items.
How often do you go to France?
Once a year.
Once a year.
For a market.
Every bit of wall space is covered with paintings, light fixtures, wall art, and decor.
Ruskin Place back here, we struggle because most people don't even know we exist back here.
Yeah.
A lot of people will come to that gate and stop thinking it's a private community.
Yep.
They don't know we have. There's only 4 of us left.
People don't know you're back here.
Yeah, I know. You should go talk to Holly because she's one of the few people that has her shop on the bottom and lives on the top. And she'll go on camera for you because she likes doing that.
Right.
She's comfortable with that. But go talk to her because it would be great for people to know that they can come back here and we have some interesting things back here.
Well, let them know. Which one is she?
Right directly across. Her name is Holly.
Okay, I see her right there. Oh, Albert F's.
Albert F's.
Okay. Sylvia, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you doing that. I'll look this up. That's really fun. I like that.
Right? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You bet.
Albert F's, a boutique specializing in women's fashion, local art, jewelry, and accessories, is located just across the park from an apartment in Paris and is one of the longest running businesses in the shops of Ruskin.
All right, so this is Albert F's. This is one of the original. Hello. Go on in. Your name's Holly, right?
Afraid so.
Okay. Sylvia told us to come over here. What are you looking at, baby?
Oh,
he's
the owner.
Right. My wife loves dogs. Sylvia was talking about that. There's just a couple of you left of the original live-work places.
I'm actually the oldest merchant. I'm from Tennessee. My husband is too, and we left corporate America, and the rest is history. We've been here 21 years. My audience is a little bit more mature. I mean, I do have some very youthful jewelry, but it's clothes and jewelry predominantly, and a few lifestyle pieces. It's just kind of curated for women that are 40, 50, 60. Style is your style, as opposed to people like me. For example, you have a very distinct style, right? And that's you. And so I don't think anybody should anywhere tell people this is the style now. Yeah. Everybody has a style. Maybe I say this is a trend you might want to look at. And so I try to buy trends that would enhance people's style, and especially in the 40, 50s, 40 and on up category, because that's me.
You found a niche, and that's cool.
And I also am a big believer that there's a lot of fashion needs and shopping needs for women that are not a size 2.
Right.
Yes. And so I kind of focus on that. Nothing wrong with being petite. I guess we all wish we were, but that's not reality. And, you know, I want it to have a beach feel, but I also want it to be real.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I am.
You know, we wanted to do a little, not that everybody hasn't done it, the whole history of Seaside and what, you know, the original planning was and all that kind of stuff. We really delved into that. But I love not until you get in here, you find the individual stories.
It's amazing what you find out about the little nooks and crannies and the, for lack of a better term, where all the bodies are buried. It's not negative. That's not so
I know
negative.
what you mean. Yeah.
But you know, it's just all these little unique, quirky things. Because we are we're a cool town, but we're a quirky town.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that the whole of 30A is a little bit quirky, and I think 30A Misfits. Well, there you go. So it works.
Albert F mean?
Albert F is named after my husband's grandfather, and he told us to follow our dreams, and so we named this store in honor of him.
That's awesome.
That's all it is.
That's cool. Well, Holly, thank you so much for your time.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. Chapel.
The Seaside Chapel is an interfaith chapel designed by architect Scott Merrill. Construction started in 1999, and the first service was held 20 years ago in 2001. The chapel seats 175 people, and the services are amplified on speakers outside for those that want to attend in the fresh air. Frostbites was originally opened by Mike and Chance Gullett in 1994, and 10 years later, in 2004, it was still the only Airstream in Seaside. Mike, a father of 4, had a vision of helping families make new memories at the beach, and that tradition continues today.
Where can we get to?
We need one small strawberry stuffed.
Okay. Are we doing 2 stuffed or just 1?
Just 1. I'm just going to get a frozen custard.
What's your name?
Charity.
Charity?
Yep.
It's David and Eric, and we have a local YouTube channel. It's called 38 Misfits.
Nice.
We're just out. We've done every place but Seaside.
Through all the actions out.
I know it is.
Do you want cream on top?
Do I want cream on top?
Yes,
Yeah, I want cream on top.
It's actually illegal not to get cream.
I understand. I want to follow the rules.
You don't want to be arrested while you're filming. Although that might make for some good...
You're right, good content.
We don't want to be responsible. Here we go. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we got you a strawberry snowball stuffed with vanilla frozen custard and topped with cream. And I just got vanilla frozen custard, but I got it topped with marshmallow.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know why you didn't do that on mine.
Because you got cream.
This is a small?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how is it?
Mm-hmm. You want to try?
So good. I mean, why didn't I do that?
Okay, try that one.
I mean, look at this behemoth.
Try a bite.
Did I ruin it for you?
You got strawberry in my marshmallow.
Chocolate and the peanut butter in my chocolate.
Frostbites has been around almost since the beginning, and now we understand why. Fast and friendly service, great desserts, and convenient location all contribute to our second perfect score of the day. We were both very surprised by our day in Seaside. Seaside as a whole is very much geared toward tourists, so we didn't expect to give 1 perfect score, much less 2.
Good day.
Good day.